Alright, this is Noah Husky Hardcore, coming to talk to you about some Denver Bronco football. Haven't got to you all preseason. My fault, sorry about that, just been busy. Pretty much want to talk about what I saw from the preseason and what I expect coming up for our first game coming up here Sunday night against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hopefully this video comes up. YouTube always likes to change their crap around, so now I guess I can't just come in here, click upload on webcam, and it's done. So YouTube's really frustrating me this morning. I hate this technology crap, but let's talk a little football. Just a little bit what I've seen from the preseason. I got to be pretty happy. I've heard that Sports Illustrated and a couple other magazines and stuff has Denver going to the Super Bowl. I think Denver could go to a Super Bowl, but it's still really early. I mean, we don't know how injuries are going to go. I mean, anybody could make it as of right now. So, no, going into it. But what we look like in the preseason looks pretty good. Peyton Manning in his last game against the 49ers had a really top-notch outing against a good team and a good defense. And in his other starts, I didn't think he did too bad. Great play by the Bears. Safety, I believe it was, tipped the ball. Stokely looked like he was going into the end zone. Was a Peyton Manning interception. And the Seahawks game, I didn't really get to watch a lot of it. Another thing that ticked me off YouTube, went to Buffalo Wild Wings to go watch the game because I'm here in Kansas City and can't watch it. And Buffalo Wild Wings didn't want to fork out the extra money for the preseason package, even though their commercials all promote this football and crap. And we didn't want to get the other package. Well, they said 10 people came in asking for the Broncos game that night, but didn't get to see a whole lot. Just saw the highlights. One of them was a really bad overthrow. Anyways, not going to nitpick on it. Peyton Manning's looking like Peyton Manning. A little rusty, yes, but he's still mentally. He's the same guy. He's looking good. I don't think we're going to have a injury problem with him. He's been good, so that means our offense should be pretty well. People on the NFL stuff been like, well, Peyton Manning's not going to have quite the same group that he had in Indianapolis. But as we saw last year, Indianapolis group wasn't very good without Peyton Manning. I think this group is just as good. Ain't no big names like the Marvin Harrisons and Reggie Waynes right now because we got the Decker and Demaryius Thomas who just got into the league and really have not had a quarterback to throw them the ball. I'm not a big fan of big name, high priced wide receivers because wide receivers can only be as good as their quarterback is. I know Demaryius Thomas was a first-round pick. I wasn't too thrilled about it. He's stepping up there, but I think wide receivers are something you can get on the free agent market. And long story short, getting on another tangent, let's talk a little bit about this season. I'm expecting big things. I really am. With John Fox, how he likes to play, just don't make mistakes. If you can lead in the plus, minus, and turnover ratios, you're going to be really good at the end of the year. I think that's what we're going to do offensively, and defensively is probably the thing that I'm a bit excited about. The acquisitions of Porter. We cut Florence. I thought that was going to work out, but he did not look good this preseason. Mike Adams. Raheem Moore's looking a little bit better, supposedly, in the preseason. Got burnt in that San Francisco game looking into the backfield. But I got hopes that he's going to come around. Still got Chris Harris. We got some good D-backs, so I'm pretty happy with our situation there. DJ Williams going to be out serving the suspension, but I think we'll be fine. Wesley Woodyard will come in. He pretty much led the team, I believe. Don't quote me. I think he led the team in tackles last year. He'll be fine until DJ comes back. Joe Mays is looking a little bit better on his pass defense, but still maybe a little bit of a liability there. Still a good run stopper, which we will need. I was just trying to stop myself from saying, oh, now I'm pausing. But We'll be fine. Big concern is still up front. Ty Warren is in there now, and some of our guys are looking a little bit bigger up front and in the middle. We drafted Derek Wolf, who, at the time, I mean, he looks like he's really good. At the time of the draft, I was pretty happy. He looks like he's really good in work ethic and motor is what they say, and always going after the ball. But I was a little worried that he was too small to play the defensive tackle position. Now we've moved him out to defensive end, and I think that's going to be a good move. Him and why am I drawing a blank? Dumerville, drawing a blank, one of our best players. But on the ends, I mean, maybe it's because he's wide or something, but he does remind me of a Jared Allen type player. Derek Wolf does, and actually Dumerville does too. But that would be awesome. Those two around the edge and Von Miller. We're definitely going to be able to put some pressure on the quarterback. Jack Del Rio was a little upset when our coach went to the Oakland Raiders, our last year's defense coordinator. But Jack Del Rio is a good defensive coordinator. He's going to change this defense around. So I think our defense is going to be way better than it was last year. People were saying last year that our defense was really good, and that's what kept us around in games. But if you looked at the numbers and the stats, we kept them out of the end zone some games and was able to hang around. But this year, I think we could be pretty dominant. Going into that, let's talk a little bit about this game coming up. To tell you the truth, I haven't watched any Pittsburgh Steelers in this preseason. I've been busy. So basically, I want to go back to what I said last year about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Steelers were in decline last year. If you all remember, my subscribers, the video I made last year about the war against Denver Sports Talk Radio or whatever it was. This was before the season was even over, when they were saying that we couldn't beat Pittsburgh in the playoffs, and I said I liked our matchup against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh last year won a lot of close games, but against shitty teams. And this is a new season, new time. I really couldn't tell you who their draft picks were. I tried to get on to look see who they picked up free agency wise real quick, but then I started messing with this YouTube browser crap and didn't really get to it. But I expect Denver to win this game, basically just because Pittsburgh is starting to get a little old. Remember how they started out the season last year? They got blown out by Baltimore, which that was last year. That was an entire year ago. So they changed and they were a little bit better later on. But I think Denver's got it this year. I wish I could give you more reasons. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot about Pittsburgh except for what I know about them from last year. But I'm not too worried about them. I think Denver can win this game fairly well. Remember in the playoff game, it got close and went into overtime, but it should not have even gotten that close. Pass, it was behind the line of scrimmage. The backwards pass, they called incomplete. We couldn't review it, which I don't understand that rule, why it's not reviewable. When tuck rules are reviewable, it's the same thing if the whistle... If they called it incomplete and then it ended up being a fumble, or maybe that's why, because it has to be ruled a fumble and then they can maybe call it incomplete. That's maybe how the tuck rule works, how it goes. But it should have been a blowout. We were up on them quite a bit, and there were things that happened in that game. So basically, I'm going with what everybody else is saying. I'm picking Denver because we beat them in the playoffs last year. We got a way better quarterback. Best wishes to Tim Tebow. Hope you have a good... He will take over that job in New York sometime this season. I don't think the Jets are going to be worth a crap. They haven't looked like it. I've never been a Sanchez fan. They haven't looked that good in the preseason. We're not talking about the Jets, so we're talking about the Broncos. It's opening week. I want to come back with the post-game report here after a while, after the game, obviously, next week. Get a little bit back more into swing. Now I'm going to be able to watch a lot more teams coming on Sundays because we'll have it on TV around here. And I'm excited for this football season. I got us one in the West. Real quick, I'll just go with my stats. I got Denver, San Diego, Oakland, Kansas City, both of them went running on the bottom. A lot of people are really high on the Chiefs bandwagon, but I'm still not. It's the same team that it has been. With that, they got a Stanford route. We will talk about it. They're the same team. Don't fall into the media hype. The Chiefs are not going to be they're going to be the same that they have been for the last few years. And even though people say they won the division 2 years ago, they only beat 2 teams with a 500 or better record that whole entire season. And hell, Oakland won every game in the division that year and didn't win the division. So there were some fluke things going on there. But I'm going to go with Oakland as long as McFadden can stay healthy. I do got some Chiefs on my fantasy football team that I hope they can be alright. I got Bo and Charles. But you don't need to know my personal story. That's my thing about the Denver Broncos this week. I just wanted to get a video out there because I haven't done one yet this season. And hopefully I can get this to work. I'll see you all later.